Well, hey, church family. It's so great to be here this morning with Juan Carlos Sanchez down in Ecuador, and to hear from him and all that God is doing. So we just wanted to show you this video today, so you can get a chance to know him a little bit better, and so that we can pray for them in their ministry even more effectively. So Juan Carlos, it is great to be with you here this morning. Why don't you share with us a little bit about who you are? Just what does life look like there for you in Ecuador?
Thank you. Yes, Pastor, my name is Juan Carlos Sanchez, and my wife's name is Susana. And I was born in the country of Bolivia under the ministry of missionaries, Charles and Hannah Brooks. There were also missionaries supported by People's Church years ago. So I was raised in Bolivia, and I went to school there. But I came here I came to the States, went to the States to get my Bible training in Texas. It was a school in the border, Mexican border. And so all classes were in Spanish. So in that way, after graduating, I was ready to go to the mission field. So I met Susana there at the Bible school. And she went there for 1 year of Bible training. She already was a school teacher and was working as a school teacher, but she was working for a organization, evangelical organization, Christian organization. So she needed to go to 1 year of Bible school, 1 year of Bible school.
So what brought you down there to Texas? How did you even hear about that?
Yes, it was through, it was through me, to friends, missionary friends, that they tell me, there's a Bible school. They went there to learn Spanish, because the school is it's a language school for American missionaries and a Bible school for students, that will be from Mexico and Latin America.
Yeah.
And mainly people from Mexico went there, because it was close by.
Okay.
So they told me, there's a Bible school there in Texas. And I said, well, that would be perfect for me, to Bible school. And so that's the way I went to the school.
Okay, that's really great.
Yeah. And then we got married in 1983. And the Lord gave us 2 twin sons, Carlos and Daniel. And now they are also married, and they live in the States.
Okay.
In the States, one lives in Seattle and with his family, and the other one, Carlos, right now he lives in San Antonio, Texas. He moves a lot because he's in the U.S. Air Force, so he has to get moving every 2 or 3 years.
That's awesome. So you said Carlos was one son. What was the other name of your son? The other son?
Daniel.
Okay.
Wow. Yeah, we call it Danny.
Okay. Yep.
Yeah. So and then we came here we were in Bolivia for 4 years of ministry. I was the pastor of my home church for 4 years. Then the Lord called us here to Ecuador, and we came here to Ecuador in 1983. In our ministry, it's evangelism, church planting, and leadership training. And Susana is greatly involved in teaching the kids from our church here in the city. Our first church was established here in the city of Quito, and also discipleship with the ladies.
Really cool.
So that's pretty much about ourselves, and so one more thing is that I think people was, if not the first church that started supporting us, or probably the second one, but was one of the first churches that started supporting us. That was in 1982 or something like that. Or I don't exactly remember that, but it was a long time ago.
That's really cool.
Earlier this fall, we had a chance to visit with somebody you might know. Matthias and Mary were here, and we got to spend time with them. And then their son, Matthias and Chrissy, came and visited with a few of us. We got to spend some real nice time with them, and that was really encouraging and good to see them. So we're looking forward to doing the same with you. Are you guys still planning on coming to the States in the fall, or what are you thinking?
Not well, yes, we're planning to do that.
Okay.
It has to be late summer probably, or early fall.
Well, if it works out, we'd love to visit with you, and you're welcome to come and
love to do that. We'd love to do that. Yes.
Keep us posted. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sure. So Juan Carlos, why don't you share with us a little bit about like what does ministry look like there for you? You mentioned some of the different activities that you're doing, but like what does it look like from your perspective experientially right now?
Well, right now I'm in the process of training the leaders of our churches. Years ago, when I came to Ecuador, my main purpose was evangelism in church planting. So we have now churches, and we have from those churches, they have gone to other places, and there's a lot of churches that have been established, in that way. Some of the churches not directly by me, but through those that have been saved under our ministry and been discipled under our ministry, and so although I go and help them in many ways, but they're just multiplying in the churches, especially in the jungle region. In the jungle region, we have a church here in Quito, in the city. We call it our main church, and the other ones we call our sister church. But the churches in the jungle are larger in number, actually. Yeah, because when I went there 20 years ago, we reached the whole community, the whole village, like villages of 200, 300 people. So, I mean, almost everybody claimed to be saved, but now our main purpose and mission is to train the leaders and the pastors and the Sunday school teachers and all the leaders of the churches, So that's what I'm mainly doing right now, it's discipleship and training them.
What I love that is that oftentimes someone becomes a pastor of a church, and then they're left to their own resources. They're kind of left out on their own, and what a wonderful thing that you continue to come alongside of them and encourage them and exhort them and edify them. And I think that's just wonderful, so that they can be invested in and they can be nourished and developed. So they're not alone, because it's can be lonely to be in leadership, right? That, and to know that someone's got their back and is praying for them and will continue to teach them, invest in them, is so important. So I just love that that's such a major part of your ministry.
Yeah, and also we have our Bible school there in one of our churches there in the jungle, and we have classes once a month. Every month we have classes, and we meet for 3 days in a row. From early in the morning till midnight. It's yeah, it is amazing. So we do that, and we have some of the leaders and pastors of the churches. They also come to the Bible school, and we also have new people, young people there.
Yeah, that's just amazing. You mentioned your wife Susanna helping out with the city church in Quito and doing some of the children's activities. Does she have any roles with the churches that are more remote as well?
Yes, not often, but she goes and teaches the Sunday school teachers.
Oh yeah.
Yes, and so yeah, she teaches the Sunday school teachers, and also we do vacation Bible schools there in the jungle, with the kids.
That's awesome.
One of the things you had mentioned before as a need was that you were building Sunday school rooms in the jungle, and that you had finished one, but you had not been able to finish the second one. Have you been able to do that yet, or is that something you're still hoping to do?
Yeah, actually, we are pretty much done with the second one. Yes, yes, and it's pretty far away from Quito. It takes me 7-8 hours to get there, and the road is pretty bad, but they're doing a good job. The pastor there is called Juan Criollo, and he is an excellent pastor. Basically, he's pretty much on his own, and he's also reaching other villages near him. So yes, and we're pretty much finished with that second project that we had.
You also mentioned we've been praying for financial provision for these pastors in the jungle, and how does that, I'm assuming that there's not a lot of financial resources in the jungle, so how do these pastors get financial backing? Is it the same way as you? Like, do they have partners, like we're partners, or how does that come about for them?
Yes, well, some of the pastors are also school teachers.
Okay.
So they do get their income from the government as a school teachers, and those are the had more training, more education, and they got saved, and now they are also pastors and leaders of their churches, and also the school teachers in their village, in the community, small schools, and so they do have their own income, but some are just farmers, they do their farming, and so we try to help them, with additional support so they can go along with the work, in the church.
Yeah, that's great.
And we have let me see, couple churches from the States, and a couple individuals that send us some special offerings towards that fund, for pastors and the leaders. And our church here in Quito also gives an offering and support every month, so to help them, to help the pastors in the jungle.
Yeah, that's great. So Juan Carlos, why don't you share a little bit with us some of the prayer requests that you have, whether it's personal or ministry related, like what are things we could be praying for? And as you mentioned earlier in the video, we'll be praying for you right in the service. So what can we be praying for?
Yes, thank you. I have a few prayer requests. I really appreciate that you are praying for us, and that is really a great encourage for us, when we know that friends and churches that support us also pray for us, and I appreciate that for your prayers. In the last 2 years, somehow the assaults and violence has increased a lot here in the country, and there's a lot of dangers, traveling and all that. So I travel a lot to the jungle, and so my prayer request is to pray for me or pray for us as we travel, for safety and for the Lord's care, as we go to the different villages.
Yeah.
And also for good health, we're doing okay. We are grateful that Susana got a surgery in both knees, replacement, the knee replacement. And so, but she's doing just great, wonderful. I mean, she can walks everywhere. And so we're grateful for that. But I do pray for good health, so we can continue strong in our ministry here in Ecuador. And also for provision of materials and funds towards the Bible school. In 3 days, we have to give the students their meals, their food, and also we buy the materials. And so we are going by faith in that, every month the Lord provides. So do pray that the Lord will continue providing towards that. Yeah. And one more prayer request. Recently, actually, there are many cults that are going to the jungle region. Years ago, there was nothing. I mean, I would go to villages, and I was the only one that went there as a missionary, or preacher, pastor, the only one. But now they are getting into the villages with their teachings, and trying to confuse the believers, and cults like the Jehovah Witnesses and the Seventh-day Adventist, a lot, and even Mormons, from the States. And so we have that, and our leaders, pastors of the churches, they have to deal with that, and teach their congregations, about these false teachings. So pray for that, please.
Yeah. Well, Juan Carlos, thank you so much for your time, and just so thankful for the partnership that God has given to us with you for these 40 plus years, which is just incredible. So we're going to spend some time praying for you in our service, but thank you so much for partnering with us here. We appreciate it.
Oh, thank you. It's just a joy for us to know that you are praying for us, and thank you for your support, through all these years. When I first went to People's Church, I was single and very young. Now I'm still doing okay, but not too young.
So you said you go to the jungle a lot. Like, is that like a weekly occurrence? You're making that multi-hour trip, or how's that work?
Well, I go 2 times a month.
Okay.
2 times a month.
Yeah.
And one time for Bible school, and the other time to visit churches.
Okay.
So yes. Yeah. So actually I go every other month. Here in our church in Quito, we also have a co-pastor.
Okay.
That he preaches when I'm not here in Quito.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that is so great. Well, we're excited to see what God's going to be doing down there with you. We'll certainly be praying for your safety. I mean, that's a lot of miles you're traveling on roads that probably are worse than Michigan roads, which are pretty bad.
I don't know.
I noticed that, I remember you had asked or said that you guys had wanted to increase prayer in your, in your own personal lives. And I was, that's something that's heavy on our heart too. And we talk, Aaron and I talk about that with our staff and our elders and our congregation. How can we really lean into the presence of God and be more prayer dependent? And I wondered, A, how's that going for you? And B, how can we help you? I sometimes feel like we miss stuff because maybe I'm only reaching out once every couple of months and asking for prayer requests. And I'm wondering, well, you use WhatsApp, could we communicate more and faster on WhatsApp? Would you like that, or would that be a bother? If I texted you on a Tuesday morning and said, hey, how can I pray for you? Is that a bother? Is that encouragement? And just curious, how we can do that.
Not at all. Not at all. That'll be a blessing, That'll be a blessing. And thank you. Just write me anytime, and so we have a lot of prayer requests, we really appreciate people praying for us. Really do.
Okay. Well, I'm going to try to lean into that a little more and be more in touch with you in that, so that we can have regular prayer requests, not just every couple of months, because life goes on every day, right? Every day, God's mercy is new, because every day we've got a new challenge, right? So, so we'll do that.
Thank you.
That's great.
Well, thank you so much, Pastor. And thank you for all your support and prayers on our behalf.
Please pass along our love and our greetings to your wife and your congregation. Just let them know that we think of them and pray for them often, and we're encouraged by what we hear from you. So
I sure will. Okay, thank you so much.